What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about success in life and whether there's a genetic component to it or not. Now, I realize this is a crazy video title, and a lot of you guys are probably going, what the fuck is he going to talk about? Hear me out. So, it's the holidays, and I've been thinking about family more than normal because I'm seeing people I haven't seen in a while, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. And I was thinking about it last night, and everyone in my family kicks ass. Like, everyone in my family is successful. Now, there's different levels of success, but it seems like everyone is successful across the board in multiple areas. And this had me questioning whether success in general is genetic, because I feel like we're an outlier here. I feel like most people, most families, you've got the people that are successful over here, the people in the middle here, and the people that are fucking up here. Does not seem to be the case in my family, which I think is strange because we're so spread out in the things that we're doing. It's not like we're a one-trick pony, which is what a lot of people probably assume. So let's start it off. My grandfather is hyper successful. If I have a fourth of the success he's had in my life, I will be ecstatic. He has run multiple successful businesses. Most notably, he started up the family car business. That's the thing that people kind of know our family for, is the car business. And we've got a landmark. We're kind of a landmark of the city of Radford. Been around for a while. We employ like 100-some people. He started it. So that's probably probably one of his biggest accomplishments. He has other businesses too that have done well. So that's the starting point. Now, my dad, he owns that business now with my uncle. And they've kept it running. They employ a bunch of people, never laid off an employee, been in business for like 55 years, whatever. Now, you would assume that success, like that's the family business, and that's kind of where it goes, right? Now I'm there, and now the other people are there, and it just snowballs, right? But that's not the case at all. I am the only kid. I'm one of the out of my four older brothers, I'm the youngest one, and I am the only one working there. And everyone else and their kids aren't there either. So I'm the only one that's managed to at least catch the bug a little bit, and my whole thing happened as a little bit of a fluke because they needed a guy that knew how to use computers and shit. I find this strange because the success my family has had is so widespread. So my dad, my uncle, super successful. My other uncle, plastic surgeon, works on like celebrities and stuff, way different than the car business. Other uncle runs a sort of in the car business. He has a junkyard and parts store, and he does some other stuff with cars, but it's a completely separate thing. Other uncle is like the head security guy for Walmart. And then, my older brothers, for example, one of them's an engineer. The other one is a manager for a wildlife pest control thing, does very well. The other one is an architect and going to school for like computer algorithm shit. And then the other one, which has probably the most normal job out of all of them, is an electrician. And that's a good job to have, in my opinion. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. You can't get fucking he can't be outsourced. You can't outsource electricians. So he does very well. He's got a family, supports them just fine. Cousins, all very successful. So and this is all in different areas. So it has me wondering whether or not there is a genetic component to this, because I look at myself, right, and I am one of the youngest kids around right now in my family, I guess. I mean, other than like the new ones, the noobs that just came into the pack, but I'm one of the younger ones, and I feel like I'm pretty successful right now, but not where I should be. I feel like the pressure to succeed is a lot of the reason why there's so much success in this family, right? I feel like that if you're not successful, then you're like fucking up. But that pressure was never like put on me. It wasn't like, never was like a thing where it's like, you gotta do well, you gotta do well, you gotta do well. It's almost like it was just instinctually in my head. And the fact that other people in my family are successful that have had different parents, and they're all doing well despite different conditions and whatever, makes me think that same drive might actually be genetic. Because I think back, and I know this is probably a little bit of an irrelevant reference, but maybe not. I think back to when I was a kid and I was, playing sports. I was never pressured to play sports, but I wanted to. And I was never pressured to want to excel in sports to an insane level, but I wanted to. And I remember I'd go up to the rec center and I'd be playing basketball for 8 hours a day, working out, training hard. I legitimately feel like I trained like an Olympian back then. The shit I do now, it's pussy shit compared to what I was doing when I was a kid. I keep telling myself that, I'm going to start training like that again, but I'm too much of a fucking wuss now. But I remember, playing basketball for 8 hours a day, and there would be concerned parents coming up to me saying is your dad making you do this, or is this, it's no, it's not my dad, not my parents, just because I wanted to I had that fucking killer instinct, right? Same thing with my brother, right? But in a different way. He was a goddamn genius, literally perfect fucking high school transcripts, 4.0, everything, just across the board, flawless, right? And my parents weren't you gotta get, I was trying, never mind, I'm not gonna do that, but my parents were not the stereotypical Asian parents, why you no doctor yet? He just did it because he wanted to, and a B was a failure. Now my dumbass, it's a little bit of a different case. I think I clocked in about 3.5, not anywhere close to what he had, and he took way harder shit. But this is the pressure to succeed maybe is the reason why the success has happened, because if you're not successful, it's almost what are you fucking doing? Anyway, moving on to myself, I am one of the youngest people in the family, excluding some of the new babies that just popped up, and I am one of the least successful people in my family, I feel like. And despite that, I don't feel like I'm unsuccessful. I think I'm on a good path, but I'm just not kicking ass at the level that I feel like I should be. And maybe that's just me in my own head, because I've had a great year this year. Things have been going splendidly. I've been having a good time. I'm a happy person. Let's just list them off. The number one thing that you guys see is I lost a lot of weight, got in pretty good shape. Still working on that, but things are coming together pretty decently. So that's still a work in progress, but a lot of success there. I like my job. I liked my job when I first got it, but now I like it even more. And what I've been doing, ever since I got this job, it was one of those things where it's you don't see I don't see the effect of what I do immediately. And now the effects of what I've been doing for the past, a little over a year that I've had this job have kind of started coming to fruition, and people have seen oh shit, this is working. So I've started getting some props at work because it's, we've had enough data, I guess, has been accrued that we can see that, oh shit, what he's doing is working. So it's nice to get some props there. My investments have been doing well. Recently got into that a little over a year ago, and that's 17% growth on that front, which is phenomenal. If I'm not going to get that every year, that's just not going to happen. But that's great because I just got into it, had a little bit of beginner's luck at the start, then Brexit, made some money off that, made some money off of ye old fucking Trump, and it's nice, man. It's nice. Things are going well, having a good time, and everything is looking up. But despite that, I'm still not happy. Well, that's the wrong word. I'm happy, but I'm not content. I'm kicking ass, but I'm not kicking ass at a level that I feel like I should be. For example, let's make a basketball reference out of this. Right now, I feel like I'm a basketball player that comes in off the bench. I average 6 or 7 points a game, get some rebounds, make some good defensive plays, and go back on the bench. I'm a good asset to the team. You want me on your team, I'm valuable. But my grandpa's putting up 60 points a game. My dad's averaging 40 points a game. So I'm kicking ass, but just not at the level I feel like I should be. So that raises the question, how much of this is genetic versus how much of this is being a product of your environment? And obviously I think there's both, but I think the genetic factor, I think there's got to be something to that. Because just looking at my family and how broad the success has been through my cousins and my uncles, and their kids also are successful, and that's different parenting styles all over the place there, right? And I think there's something to it. Now, obviously, you're a product of your environment in a lot of ways. Where if let's say your mom and dad are in and out of prison your whole life, you don't have that drive to be like, I got to be, everyone's expecting me to be just like dad and go to prison for 20 years. You don't have that same sort of drive. You don't have people coming up to you saying like, your granddad's, awesome, whatever, done a lot of great stuff for this community. Whereas that's something that happens to me frequently, where people are, hey man, how's your grandpa doing? He's a great guy. How's your dad doing? He's a great guy. And, everyone knows both my dad, my grandpa, my uncles. Everyone knows them. So there's this like pressure to where it's like, shit, I feel like I have to live up to that. And I mean, people ask me all the time, you're gonna take over the business? And I'm like, fuck no, that shit. Oh my god, no. Like, there's a reason why none of the kids, like, there's a lot of us motherfuckers running around, and nobody wanted to touch it. I'm the only one that's in there right now, and I don't want to do it. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but I just know that I'm a very obsessive person, and I feel like a lot of people, just based off of, what I've kind of seen living through my family, also have that same sort of obsession where you just go a little crazy over something. And I've done that in multiple aspects of my life. I did it with athletics. I did it with YouTube. I did it with fitness to a degree. I didn't just lose the weight. I'm going fucking hard at this shit to the point to where people are like, what the fuck? So, I'm one of those people that, I'm in it to win it. And I think some of that might be genetic, because no one has ever been like, Zyback, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. There's never really been that pressure externally. It's just kind of always been there, and always, I don't want to say it's been expected, but because I don't ever recall anyone putting those expectations on me. But in a way, it kind of was, because everyone else is kicking ass. I better kick ass, right? So, what do you guys think? I don't want this video to be negative and be like, oh, my parents were fuck-ups, now I can't succeed, because that's obviously not the case. There's tons of examples of that not being true, but I think there's something to it. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe. Also, remember to turn on notifications by clicking on that bell down below and enabling notifications. That way you'll get my stuff more reliably. The YouTube sub boxes are notoriously unreliable, so be sure to turn on those notifications. Also, check out my Twitter and Facebook. Lots of fun there, and we have a good time, so I hope to see you there.